So when you're getting ready to go and look for your custom house, you're going to talk to different builders and you're going to talk about maybe plans that you already have, or maybe it's just pictures that you have because it's a conceptual stage. And one builder is going to say the house is going to cost X, and the next builder is going to say it's going to cost something different. Well, why? What's that difference? Well, here in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what is going to drive the cost of a custom home up or down, just to give you understanding so you know what to expect when you're in those conversations. First, let's talk about the location of your lot. Now, if your lot is here in Cedar City, imagine the tradesmen are going to drive from their shop and they're going to get in a full 8-hour days. If there's a problem, the foreman, he's going to be able to show up on the job site. If they need material, we have plenty of places in town that they can run and grab that part that they need for your house. So they'll be working pretty efficiently. But now let's say you're building up in Bryan Head, or maybe it's south down in New Harmony, and that's about an hour drive each way. So that's, instead of an 8-hour day, that's 6 hours because there's 2 hours of windshield time. So the trade is only going to be able to work 6 hours. It's going to take him longer days, more days to work on your house. Also, that foreman, if there's ever a problem, it's going to take him a couple hours to get up there. Or maybe they have to go get a part or something. They can't just run to the storehouse and get it. It is a 2.5 hour process to go get that part. So that's going to impact your cost. But I'm telling you, you're not going to see driving time in your budget. Instead, what you're going to see is just a higher cost based on the distance that you are from the major metropolitan center, which Cedar City, okay, it's not a major metropolitan center, but it's where we call home, and that's where everyone lives and tends to come out of. Another thing about your lot is going to be the topography. Think about the slope. Imagine, if you will, a flat table, and you take a little cardboard house and you put it in the middle of that table, and it's going to sit there beautifully. Don't need to do very much. But what happens if you pick that table up and you hold it at an incline? That house is going to slide right off the end of that table. So in order to make that house stable, you've got to do some amendments to the table in order to develop that flat spot for the house. So think about more excavation. You're probably going to have to haul in more dirt. You might even have to haul the dirt from the bottom up, set it over here, work on it a little bit to amend it, put it back down there, get some engineering, get some additional soils testing, all of those things. Simply what it is, it's going to take more time from your excavator, and it is going to add additional costs before we're even ready to build your house. Now let's talk about the structure of the home now that we've got the base done. Think about big open spaces. Imagine, I love this, families gathering, friends are gathering, and you're all in this big room with the cathedral ceilings and the windows are looking out. It's gorgeous. But let's talk about some of those things in that room that are going to impact the cost. Now, you may think, well, there's fewer walls, so that's going to cost less, right? Well, think about it this way. Those walls actually are carrying the weight of the house. We have to take the house and transfer that weight down to that flat spot that we just built in the ground. So if we take out walls, now there's fewer hands carrying that weight. Here's a good analogy. Imagine, if you will, 5 people carrying a heavy load. 3 of those people step away. What happens? That load doesn't get any lighter. It just gets more weight that those 2 individuals have to carry. So when we're talking about that, the same thing is going to happen for the structural components. Instead of having an interior wall, we have this wide open space. So now we have a larger beam, we have larger columns, we have larger footings down in the ground to transfer the weight of the house down to the ground. Those are going to add cost as much as any beautiful thing that you're going to put into your window. And most people don't realize big, open, expansive spaces, as wonderful and beautiful as they are, do have a cost impact to the overall design of the house. And we also talked about windows. Remember, I was saying sitting in that room, it's big, it's open, cathedral ceilings, windows look out. Well, let's talk about those windows. Most people think the cost of the window is really all that's driving the cost of that expansive view. Not necessarily so. Yes, it's a part of it. But let's talk about glass. Glass can't carry any weight. Same thing that I was talking about with those 5 people and 2 step away from that heavy weight. If you have a glass wall, you still have to distribute that weight so it's not falling on the windows and get that weight down to the ground. What does that mean? That means we have to do headers and sometimes steel, and we have to do posts and columns, again, to transfer all of that weight to the bottom. So when we're talking about beautiful window walls or that multi-glide door and that huge opening, it's not just the cost of the thing, It's the structural components that are in the ceiling and in the walls that are going to impact the cost of the home. Right, so now that we have the structure and it's set, there's going to be a whole bunch of other things inside the house. The finishes, or maybe selections you might have heard. But what is interesting about those, and this is where you have to be cautious, is those are very quiet, sneaky little costs that are going to get up on you. And here's why. You're going to go pick the cost of the flooring because it's going to be all over your house, and you're going to say, I love that floor, it's important to me, so you're going to increase your budget for that floor. Then you're going to go look at countertops and you're going to fall in love with that one piece of stone, and it's a little bit outside of your budget. That's okay. I want that, and you're going to increase your budget for that. And you're going to do that 10, 15 times, and each one of these little steps are compounding on each other until you get done to your selections process, and it's going to feel like, surprise, you're way over budget. That's pretty normal. And what I want you to think about is making sure as you're making those decisions that you're keeping track of each small step, because those incremental steps are going to add up and could possibly throw you way out of budget. You got to look at all of those finishes together as a whole. So two houses that are seemingly similar can have very different price structures. One house might be very complicated, have all of these patterns, have more time and labor, have more wide open spaces, and another house may not, right? It can still be beautiful. They can still have expansive views, but perhaps instead of a giant open space, we have a few interior walls that are able to carry that load. But what's important is what is important to you. There's no right or wrong answer. It's what makes sense for you and your budget. A well-planned custom house isn't about cutting corners. It's about understanding what the total costs are. So when you're starting here in the planning stage, you understand that when you get over here, that cost is going to be affected by your decisions. Knowing how your decisions affect that cost are going to really give you the best chance to stay in budget. Thank you.